If only there were a tiny song to remind me where to get my next vehicle.
How about this?
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Nothing better than the celebration of pro football in America and the weekend in the place where football was born. Canton, Ohio, has begun, and we are celebrating this weekend one of our own who suited up for his entire career here in the desert, Larry Fitzgerald.
So now Arizona from the 20-yard line. Blitz coming, Matthews. Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play.
Nobody there.
Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory. Larry Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20.
If he scores, it's over.
It's insane. He scores. And the Cardinals win an amazing game.
And who better than Larry Fitzgerald, who simply took over this football game.
17 years. 17 years. That's an eternity in pro football. And he wore the Cardinals red for that entire 17 years. Interestingly enough, so I always talk about my baselines for Pro Football Hall of Fame. And my baselines have always been at least 5 Pro Bowls and 3 first-team All-Pro nominations. Larry Fitzgerald was actually only a first-team All-Pro one time in those 17 years that he played pro football. However, he did go to 11 Pro Bowls. He did get us selected for 11 Pro Bowls. So although he wasn't necessarily, quote, the best wide receiver or one of the 2 best wide receivers, because I think on the first team All-Pro selections, they usually pick 2 wide receivers. I think in the respect of the year that he was, there's actually, I think, 5 guys that were picked that year. Andre Johnson, who's also in the Hall of Fame, Wes Welker, Roddy White, Steve Smith Jr. were all selected that same year in 2008 when Larry Legend was selected as an All-Pro. You would have thought, again, he would have gotten maybe more of those selections, but everything else that goes along with Larry Fitzgerald is one of the reasons why he is being introduced into pro football world lore, I should say, pro football lore this weekend in Canton, Ohio. All-time career receptions, number 2, with over 1,400 in his career. All-time career yards, number 2. I mean, again, when you look at the statistical list, that makes up a lot for the fact that he was only a first-team All-Pro one time in his career. Larry Legend heading into Canton, Ohio this weekend. The game is tonight. They changed the structure of this whole weekend a few years ago. It used to be the game was on Sunday. It was the last event of the weekend. They've pushed that up now and made it one of the first events of the weekend because inherently what happened is everybody would go to the induction on Saturday and then they'd be getting out of town on Sunday to return to wherever, their homes and whatnot. And the game wasn't played till Sunday night. So a lot of people did not necessarily want to stay through till Monday. So they moved the game up to Thursday. I think it's about 6-7 years ago. I remember the last time I went for the Hall of Fame weekend was 2019, and I believe that was either the second or third year that they had been having it on Thursday night. We will carry that game for you here live coming up. Coverage begins in 1 hour, less than 1 hour, 4 o'clock. We will carry it on the Carolina Panthers radio network. It is the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals tonight from Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio, our second year as your Southern Arizona home for Tetro McMillan, Lathan Ransom, and the Arizona Cardinals. Now, we know T-Mac is not going to play tonight. My understanding is Lathan is also not going to play tonight. Not too many starters from either team is going to play tonight in this ball game. Kenny Pickett is going to start at quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, and the rookie will start Carson Beck for the Arizona Cardinals tonight. Really, this game is less about the game and more about the celebration of all of the men who are going to be inducted into Canton, Ohio this weekend. And none more did we enjoy watching than Larry Fitzgerald. Let's hear from Larry Fitzgerald. He held his press conference earlier today in Canton, and one of the things that he talked about was obviously the fact that his dad initially was going to be the one to present him. His dad was a longtime sports writer in Minneapolis. Unfortunately, Larry's father passed away earlier this year. He did obviously live long enough to realize that his son had achieved the dream that I'm sure they talked about when Larry was a kid coming up playing football. So now his son, who is in his freshman season, beginning his freshman season at Notre Dame as a football player, will present him. Larry talked a little bit about that in his press conference today.
Yeah, my dad was going to do it for me. And, in hindsight, I wish I would have been a bit more proactive. I remember seeing the schedule, and like we do the taping, normally in May or June. And I'm thinking, I think we should be okay. And I probably should have just pushed it up until March, and got it done. But, it's unfortunate, but I think it's also given my son the opportunity to have a really unique experience. My son's a freshman in college. He's in training camp right now at Notre Dame. He gets to be on the same stage with Jerry Rice and Randy Moss and Michael Irvin and Chris Carter and Steve Largent and, all these amazing players that have contributed to the fabric of this game. What better motivation is there for him to be able to be in that same setting, to take back to him to school, to motivate him to hopefully be the best player he possibly can be. Not to put pressure on him, but, I think it's really good to visualize and be able to tangibly see and feel the things that you want in life. And I think this experience is going to do that for him. And so to be able to have him be a part of it in that way, it's a unique experience that, only happens one time in a lifetime. And, so I think it's pretty cool.
Now, I will preface what I said earlier in terms of Larry Fitzgerald when I said he was first-team All-Pro just one time. That was Associated Press, which is kind of largely considered to be the main publication in terms of choosing the All-Pro candidates every year. He was second-team All-Pro Associated Press on 2 other occasions. He was first-team All-Pro for a number of other publications. Pro Football Writers, he was first-team All-Pro 2007. Pro Football Writers, again, he was first-team All-Pro in 2008. He was also Pro Football Writers first-team All-Pro in 2009. So if you factor in the different organizations, he gets to that 3, that kind of 3 All-Pro baseline that I'm talking about as being my guideline as to whether or not your career is Hall of Fame worthy.
He was also a quiet, reserved, just go do my business kind of guy, DK, in an era with Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Calvin Johnson, a lot of loud wide receivers. So I'm wondering if those AP voters listen to a lot of the stuff happening Monday through Saturday off the field, and that reflected their voting.
Probably. There was no question about that. He'll take his place in Canton, Ohio, with a great group of guys that played the game. Drew Brees, longtime quarterback with the San Diego Chargers, as well as the New Orleans Saints, spent, I believe, 15 seasons in New Orleans after starting his career with San Diego, won a Super Bowl in New Orleans. So Drew Brees on that list. Luke Kuechly of the Carolina Panthers, he's going to be celebrated as well. So we've got players from each of the two teams that are going to be on the field tonight. Luke Kuechly spending 9 seasons with the Carolina Panthers as one of the best linebackers, a son of Ohio. He was a really good high school football player in the state of Ohio. One of my buddies back in Ohio that covers a lot of high school football made a long post talking about how he watched Luke Kuechly as a junior in high school and looked over there and said to his friend, that guy's going to play on Sundays someday. And not only did he play on Sundays, he played good enough to allow himself a spot as well. 8 straight Pro Bowls for Luke Kuechly, 8 straight All-Pro teams for him as well. Led the league in tackling twice in his career. Not a long career either, but did it all in the time that he was there.
Isn't the Ohio State University known for their linebackers? And
Pretty
how the hell
much.
did he wind up at Boston College?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how. I'd have to go back and look at the recruiting classes to see how Luke Kuechly got out of the state of Ohio for sure. Roger Craig, before there was a Bijan Robinson, before there was a McCaffrey, that there was Roger Craig, one of the best players in terms of being able to run the football and catch the football at the running back position ever.
Watch out for those knees, though.
Yeah, he was
high stepper,
high knee running back for sure. First in the history of the game to rush for 1,000 yards and receive for 1,000 yards in one season. Did that all the way back in 1985. Longtime San Francisco 49er, won 3 Super Bowls
it
wearing
helps when you have
the Cardinal and gold.
the best wide receiver of all time and potentially the best quarterback of all time, depending on who you ask.
Exactly. Played with some Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, in that ilk as well. And Adam Vinatieri, we don't get a lot of kickers that get into the Hall of Fame. Adam Vinatieri, though, is one of the most clutch kickers in the history of the league. 4-time Super Bowl champion, NFL's all-time leading scorer, and a guy that kicked a lot of game winners in the postseason. So it is one heck of a list of 5 to get into Canton, Ohio this year. Everything's starting tonight. I believe the gold jacket, the game is tonight. The gold jacket ceremony will be on Friday. Then, of course, the enshrinement ceremony is Saturday, and all kinds of great. I'll say it again. If you've never had a chance to experience Canton, Ohio on Hall of Fame weekend, if you love pro football, it is absolutely something that you must do. Put that on your bucket list for sure. All right, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We've got a short show for you. We're going to let you hear more from Larry Fitzgerald coming up. We'll also let you hear, in fact, let me just give you one right now. Let's hear from the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Well, actually, no, we'll wait and come back to him because Mike LaFleur is a little bit long. So we'll let you hear from Mike LaFleur, Kenny Pickett, Carson Beck, all going to be obviously playing in this game tonight. Lost last night for the Phoenix Mercury, the second of their 4 games on the road as they played one of the best teams in the league in the Atlanta Dream and fell on the road. Second game with Kelsey Plum. She got her first start in that game. We'll let you hear from her coming up before the show is over as well.
Mitch Bratt, though.
Mitch Bratt. Woo! He was fabulous. Absolutely fabulous for the Diamondbacks last night as they took game 3 of their series. This, again, when you talk about, I mean, they didn't go out and do a whole lot at the deadline, and Mike Hazen came out the other day and said, I didn't do my job because we did not make enough deals or make pertinent deals. I mean, they got Lars Nootbaar. That was about the only major deal they made at the trade deadline, and Mike Hazen felt like there was more that they could have done, especially when the Dodgers add a player like Tarek Skubal to their lineup. But, man, when you got some youngsters who are pitching their butts off right now, like you're getting from Brandon Pfaadt and Mitch Bratt, with the possibility that you could get a Mike Soroka back to go along with Merrill Kelly and Eduardo Rodriguez, that could be a pretty formidable rotation going into the postseason when you get there. And it is lining up. It is starting to line up a lot like what we saw in 2023. All they got to do now is kind of figure out the back end of that bullpen with what's obviously been happening with Paul Sewald. Brandon Garcia's been getting a lot of that work as of late. And Kevin Ginkel obviously has been real solid, as Kevin Ginkel has always been. I was watching the game when they played in the Guardians last week, and he got into that one game on Saturday night late, and they said, I couldn't believe he's been there for 8 years already. He's been in the big leagues for 8 years as Kevin Ginkel, because he pitched for the Wildcats in 16, and I believe he was already in the big leagues by either 18 or 19. He got there pretty quick coming out of the U of A, but it doesn't seem like it's been that long since he has been a key part of that Diamondbacks rotation in the bullpen. All right, 520-848-1290. Maybe a quick opportunity for you to get in as well. We'll chat Arizona football day 2 today. I'll have a few thoughts on that before we get out of here right now. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic Center. With a collision mission near Drexel that occurred mission to the north of Drexel, reported wreck there. We've got a road work on Grant east of Country Club to Swan Road, slowing you down. You could, of course, use FEMA as an alternate route. Grant Road and Alvernon Way, slowing at the intersection as usual. Travel down to 1 lane, each direction, no left turns permitted. Grant Road and Alvernon Way. 81 the low, 104 tomorrow with a 20% chance of rain, and 102 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Summer should be fun, not expensive. That's why, for a limited time, Wendy's is serving up small classic Frosty treats for just $1. Celebrate $1 Frosty Summer with a hot deal on a cool treat. Get it while it's hot. Or, cold. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
A fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. Call today, 520-200-1600.
Securities offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Smell unstoppable all day long. Try Unstoppable's laundry scent boosters for as low as $5. The Golden State Valkyries look like a contender in just their second season of WNBA play. They boast a 21-9 record with wins in 11 of their last 13 games, and the Valkyries are tied for second place in the league standings after topping the Toronto Tempo 92-81 on Tuesday. Golden State trailed at halftime, but reigning WNBA Coach of the Year Natalie Nakase galvanized her squad for another victory.
They like to get yelled at, and so I'm going to test them. Let's see what happens next game, what type of vocal pregame we got, and I'm going to challenge them.
The Valkyries are back in action Friday when they visit Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amy Lawrence on Westwood One.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
14 teams believed, 12 were wrong. The Indoor Football League National Championship hits the Tucson Convention Center on Sunday, August 16th. It's football full throttle. The best players, the biggest hits, the only game that matters. Don't just hear about it, be a part of it. History will happen. Get your tickets now at IFLNationalChampionship.com or Ticketmaster. The IFL National Championship, Sunday, August 16th at the Tucson Convention Center.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night.
We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
That sounds pretty good. No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains August 7th through the 13th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We've got pro football for you coming up at the top of the hour.
Penix the snap, looking right, now checks down left. Oh, yeah! Intercepted! Shaw Smith-Wade, who walks it in for a touchdown. Shaw Smith-Wade, the nickel, read the screen, picked it off after a little juggle, and it's a walk-in touchdown.
Shaw Smith-Wade, one of the many starters for the Carolina Panthers, not expected to play in tonight's Hall of Fame game, which you'll hear right here. Coming up with coverage at 4 o'clock, kickoff a little bit after 5. He'll be joined on the sideline tonight by Teto McMillan out of the University of Arizona and Lathan Ransom from the South Point
Don't
Catholic
you mean 2025
Lancers.
Rookie Offensive Player of the Year, Tetra McMillan?
Yeah, exactly. That guy right there. He is not going to be playing in tonight's ball game. Who will be playing, you ask? Well, Kenny Pickett is going to start for Bryce Young at quarterback tonight for the Carolina Panthers. He is in his first season with the Panthers, his 5th NFL team. You'll remember he was a first-round pick by the Steelers back in 2022. He signed a 4-year contract in free agency with the Carolina Panthers to be the backup behind Bryce Young. He'll get a few series as normal, and then undrafted rookie Haynes King will play for the remainder of the game. Let's hear from Kenny Pickett on getting the chance to go out there and play in Canton, Ohio.
Really just see what's going on in practice, carry out onto the field. It's our first time in the stadium against a new team. Just want to go out there and operate at a high level, and play good football. So that's really what I'm looking forward to do.
You had the nice throw to Jaseen Reed. He's having a pretty strong camp, especially getting first from you and Haynes. What have you noticed about him? Why is he having so much success?
I just think the work he's put in. We had a chance to throw together. Bryce put a throwing trip together. We went to Arizona, spent some time together. I saw it in spring. You just kind of know when a guy has it. I feel like he does, and he works really hard, understands each route concept and how he can get open and what his job is, and he just goes out there and he executes at a really high level.
Kenny, this is a game that the whole league probably is watching. It's a standalone game. I know you might not play real long, but does that give you any sort of extra juice or no?
I wouldn't say so. I think if you think about the exterior factors, you may not go out there and play as well as you need to. So, like I said before, just all the hard work that we're putting in practice here, you want to see come to life, on game day. So that's really just everybody doing their job and executing.
What's your comfort level with the offense right now?
It's going pretty well. I think, we did a really good job of installing everything in spring. So we kind of saw everything for the first time in spring, got a chance to study over summer, and now we're going back through it again. So it's our third time through it. I think that really helped me.
What's your impressions of this offense compared to some of the others in the league?
Yeah, a lot similar to, I'd say Philly, Cleveland. I think a lot of, similarities there. Run game wise, there's a lot of similarities from Vegas. There was some crossover with the coaching staff, so I had some background there. It's just really how they teach, different concepts, and where you're starting, I think, is a little different. So you just have to be diligent going through your progressions.
Kind of on that note, Dave has mentioned a few different times, like how much he likes what you bring from what you learned at those other places. What do you think is the most valuable thing you might have learned there that you're sharing?
I think it's just the different experiences. Like, a lot of people do run the same concepts, but people read it differently, or they start somewhere differently. So it's just kind of having that background knowledge of, hey, at this place we went 1, 2, 3, low to high, high to low, whatever it may be, and just kind of bouncing ideas off each other in the quarterback room, and figuring out what works best for us.
All right, Kenny Pickett, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, will get the start tonight. You'll hear that game coming up, coverage at the top of the hour on the Panthers Radio Network. Panthers and Arizona Cardinals tonight from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Gold jacket ceremony will be tomorrow. Larry Fitzgerald, a longtime 17-year Arizona Cardinal, will be getting his gold jacket, and then the induction ceremony on Saturday. You heard from Larry in the first segment, talking a little bit about the fact that obviously his dad initially was going to be his presenter. His dad passed away earlier this year. His son will be presenting him coming up this weekend, and that is different as well to what it used to be. It used to be the presenter would actually read a speech prior to and introduce the candidate or the enshrinee on stage there. Now it's a video that's kind of done that the NFL puts together with the presenter prior to the enshrinee having a chance to come up and give their speech. But one of the things that's been kind of great about the career of Larry Fitzgerald, not only the fact that he played all 17 of those years in Arizona, but he only missed 9 games in his 17-year career.
Speaking of
9 games.
Speaking of not missing games, DK, the other guy I think of when I think of sons presenting their fathers.
Yeah.
Remember Walter Payton's instruction? Yeah, his son was like a preteen and presented him for that, and he never missed games either.
No. So the greats generally don't. And that's what this game is all about. It's being able to be out there, stay healthy, and be able to play for a long, long time. Larry talked about spending his entire career with one team, that team being the Arizona Cardinals.
I think the thing that, you look at the guys who've gotten in here, and there's not a ton of players, especially in the modern era, that have been able to play in the same place their entire career. And it takes two to tango, obviously. Like, your wife didn't marry you just because you wanted to marry her, she wanted to marry, it takes two to tango. And so, having a great ownership group with Mr. Bidwell and Michael and Nicole and Tim, and them wanting me to be in Arizona and wanting me to finish my career, allow me to finish my career, it meant a lot to me. And to be able to say that Arizona is now my home and my community, that's a blessing to be able to have that. And I'm very thankful. And there's not a day that goes by that I'm not aware of it, and it's not something that I think about. As I go to coffee shops and go to sporting events and go to my kids' functions, and just how kind and nice people are to me. I was a transplant there, right? And 22 years, it feels like a place that I couldn't imagine myself ever being without. And so it's a really good feeling, and I'm very appreciative to be able to have that opportunity.
His 121 touchdowns, that's sixth all-time in NFL history. His 100, those were all receiving touchdowns, by the way. His 121 receiving touchdowns, sixth all-time for a career. He had a grand total in terms of yards from scrimmage, 17,560 total yards from scrimmage. That's ninth all-time in a career in NFL history for Larry Fitzgerald. He also, the one thing maybe that kind of eluded him was the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl championship, the Cardinals got there. In fact, that was my first year here in Arizona, that 2008 season, 2009 February Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a game that it appeared the Cardinals were going to win before Pittsburgh came and snatched it away at the very end. Larry reflected on not winning a Super Bowl in his career.
It definitely, when you come into these environments and you're around Hall of Famers who are Super Bowl champions, last night, you're around like Drew Pearsons and, all of these amazing players who not only have been Hall of Famers, but they're Super Bowl champions as well. And you're like, damn, it'd been nice to be able to have both of them. And so I think when I'm in these environments, I wouldn't say like when I'm walking around or I'm with my kids at dinner that I'm thinking about it. But when you come into these environments and these settings, Adam was just on the stage. My first Super Bowl as an adult, my dad took me to the Super Bowl. The Washington Redskins played against the Buffalo Bills in Minnesota. I can't remember what Super Bowl with Joe Theismann. I think Joe Theismann was the quarterback then, with the Hogs and John Riggins and all those guys. But the first Super Bowl I actually attended as an adult was Houston. In Houston, when the Carolina Panthers played against the New England Patriots, and he hit the game-winning field goal. You want those type of moments. You want moments that you're immortalized. I still remember the photo when he's holding his hands up in the air like that. That will be synonymous with greatness until the end of time, right? And obviously as a kid, you dream of having those moments and falling short. It stinks. It's not fun, right? And so, yeah, you do think about it.
So that was Larry Fitzgerald talking about not winning a Super Bowl. The other thing that's very interesting as he gets set to take his place in the hallowed halls in Canton, Ohio, is he never actually retired from the NFL, from the Cardinals. I'll never forget that year. I mean, that 2020, and then 21 came along, and we're like all wondering, like, okay, is he going to come out? Is he ever going to say anything about, retirement? He never really was that guy.
It's 5 years after you sign papers, right?
Yeah.
5 years after you sign your papers with the league and retire officially, you're eligible.
So the papers were signed, but there was no party, no press conference, nothing of that nature. Larry also talked about that, the concept of really the not liking the concept of retirement.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my grandfather, I remember hearing him have a conversation with his good friend John Strogers, who was park commissioner in Chicago. They played together at Xavier College football, in the 40s. And I remember them talking about retirement killing more people in our country than anything. And so that always stuck with me. And so I just don't believe in retirement. I just think you transition into different phases, especially as an athlete. I got done playing at 38. Retire? What do you mean retire? Like there's no retirement in sight. And so I don't know. I protest the word more than the actual thing. So I just won't acknowledge that.
Won't acknowledge that. Well, of course, retirement in the traditional sense of killing more people is people in their 60s and in their 70s. But yeah, I get it. I get what he's talking about there. Larry Fitzgerald. Always go. There's wise men when you're talking about grandfathers. Those are some wise men. So if Grandpa says, yeah, let's just transition. And what's the thing now? Everybody says, the new thing now is seasons of life. So now this is just a different season. Like that, my career was one season, and now this is a different season of life. That's kind of what I think all the cool kids are saying now in terms of the transitions that we have throughout our life. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. Short show taking you up to 4 o'clock, and coverage from Canton, Ohio, the NFL Hall of Fame game between the Panthers and the Cardinals. One more segment to go with us. We'll get you a little bit more. We'll let you hear from the Cardinals side of tonight's game, a little bit from the Mercury and the D-backs, and wrap things up. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s, traffic and weather.
From the Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. With an earlier crash that occurred Mission near Drexel on Mission to the north of Drexel, and also overnight University Boulevard will close between Park Avenue and Euclid Avenue. Will close down at 5 this afternoon for striping work. Reopen at 7 a.m. tomorrow. 81 the low, 104 tomorrow with a 20% chance of rain, and 102 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. When you start listening to books on Audible, traffic might seem like less of an annoyance and more of an opportunity for another chapter. Audible, stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store at metalsupermarkets.com. Tonight, the NFL preseason kicks off with the Hall of Fame game live from Canton, Ohio. The Carolina Panthers versus the Arizona Cardinals. One player to watch tonight is Cardinals quarterback Carson Beck. The third-round pick for Arizona will get the start tonight. Football is back. The Hall of Fame game is tonight. I'm Chris Black.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Big color, bigger savings. Sherwin-Williams Super Sale is here. Get 40% off paints and stains August 7th through the 13th with prices starting at $30.89. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. It's August already, the month we shift our attention away from potholes and road construction and back to school traffic. and our shorter backpack-toting neighbors jumping from the corner bus stop through crosswalks and towards those big yellow buses. So eyes up, cell phones down, and stay alert. This month at Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we're getting drivers like you ready with all kinds of specials to keep the wheels on your bus going round and round. Specials like free brake inspections and all the tire brands you trust at prices that beat the warehouse clubs and national chains. And Jack Furrier has the budget-friendly brands to Arizona-proof your daily commute and make your daily driving, stopping, starting, and swerving so much better. So make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by for savings all month long at any of our 14 award-winning locations. And let's remember to keep our eyes up, cell phones down, and get everyone where they need to go safely. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, since 1960, we're here to get you there.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals.
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
A lot of the talk at the trade deadline in the major leagues was about Casey Mize, the second big-time pitcher from the Tigers to get dealt. He went to San Diego, was on the bump last night here in the desert, but it was the rookie right-hander Mitch Bratt from the Snakes who outshone him.
Foul tip. McCann hangs on. The four-seamer from Mitch Bratt gets his first strikeout. Reno last night. 3-2. Got him! And Manny will challenge. Back toward Machado right there. Caught the edge of the zone. Goes away with a fastball. He has struck out now, Mitch Bratt. 3 of the last 4. Another 0-2. Cronenworth holds. Ooh! Called strike 3. Swing and a miss. That's 5 strikeouts. A new career high for Mitch Bratt. Swing and a miss. Mitch Bratt. 7 scoreless innings of a one-hit baseball. He has struck out 9.
Diamondbacks download. Baseball talk.
A career high 9 strikeouts for Mitch Bratt in just his 6th start in the major leagues. How about that, Torey Lovello?
I think it's a 3-0 slider to Manny Machado, gets him back into counts. That at-bat resulted in a strikeout. I thought once he got through the 5th inning, He had the potential to pitch into the 7th. He pitched through 7. It was just a really, really good overall game plan and execution by Mitch. So, yes, there were several cases where there was first pitch breaking balls, and I could tell that hitters were driving towards a fastball. So it was either an easy strike or a potential swing and miss and a fastball count. At the end of the day, it's about execution and our guys understanding how important every game is and how important every pitch is. And I think Mitch has been in this clubhouse and inside of this dugout, and he's going to fight for his boys, and that's what he did today. He's got a very competitive spirit. That's what I think. I think that he wants to go out there and dominate. I'm still getting to know him. It hasn't been that long since he's joined us. I just know he wants to go out and be great. I can tell by everything that he's doing, every bullpen that he's throwing, every inning that he's going out there, he's just getting better and better.
Ildemardo Vargas had 4 RBIs last night. I sure hope I had him in my lineup last night because he's on my fantasy team. Tim Tawa hit a home run. It was 10-zip at one point in favor of the Diamondbacks. They won it by a score of 10-4.
Also, your guy Lars Nootbaar had his first hit and first RBI as well.
Lars Nootbaar. That sounds like a candy thing right there. Final game of the series tonight, 6:40, first pitch. It'll be Cole Drake, another rookie tonight, the left-hander for the D-backs. No record of 4.85 ERAs, pitched just 13 innings in the big leagues so far in his career. Walker Buehler. He is 6-5 with a 5.18 earned run average. He'll be on the bump tonight for the Padres as the D-backs look to win 3 out of 4. And again, we had kind of talked how the Padres were slumping, but they'd actually started playing pretty good baseball. They're 9-3 in their last 12 games. So we're beating up on a Padres team that has kind of solidified itself right now are the Diamondbacks. That's coming up 6:40 tonight at Chase Field. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I do want to tell you a little bit as we come kind of towards the end of the show. Arizona football today. So I'm giving grades. I'm giving winners and losers every single day of practice. And once again today, the offense won. The offense continues to win. And what we've seen in these first 2 days from Noah Fifita and from Sawyer Anderson has been just fabulous fundamental slinging of the football for sure. I only counted 2 incompletions for Noah Fifita today, and both of those were dropped passes by the offensive players that he was throwing the ball to. He threw a couple of deep ball bombs. One to my guy Brandon Phelps, who I sure hope stays healthy because I think he's in that mix to potentially be one of those wide receivers we can depend on. He caught a big ball in traffic today. Isaiah Mazzell caught a big ball in traffic as well. So Noah hitting on some deep throws as well today was great to see, and really impressed what I've seen from Sawyer Anderson as well through these first 2 days of practice. So yeah, the offense wins again. So that's 2-0 for the offense over the defense to start fall camp here in 2026. We'll get back and dive deeper into Arizona football tomorrow. It's a night practice, so there will not be another practice between now and the time we talk to you at 3 o'clock tomorrow. All right, Hall of Fame game coming up. Carson Beck will start for the Cardinals. Let's hear a little bit from Carson Beck, the rookie out of the University of Miami, getting a chance to go out there and start the game for Arizona tonight.
Yeah, I had no clue that I was going to start. Obviously, I thought I was going to play in it, but I really didn't have any expectations of, going into any of this. Obviously, our schedule is absolutely crazy right now, practice meetings with training camp and whatnot. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited.
Are there any nerves? Are you the type of quarterback that might get nervous before a game?
I don't think so. I think the last time I was nervous was when I was 8 years old maybe for our city championship, Pop Warner. I don't know. It's a game at the end of the day. I get to go out there, have an opportunity to, have fun, play with your teammates, and again, play the game that I love. So it's what I love doing. So not really any nerves, more excitement than anything.
What is a win? What would be a successful day for you?
Successful day. Again, I think the biggest thing for me, especially just as we're going through training camp and we're still, building the chemistry with the guys, is can we be on the same page as an offense, right? are my eyes in the right spot? Am I making the right decisions? Am I making the right reads? Am I getting through my progressions quickly? I think that's success for us. And then ultimately getting in and out of the huddle and doing things the right way at a very high level. So that's what success is for me. And I think, our offense when we're out there operating.
In those areas that you're defining success for yourself, how do you feel like you've developed since the start of training camp? Because obviously you can kind of get a feel for how you're doing in those things in camp as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with training camp and being a rookie, and obviously we had OTAs, which is, a quick 6 weeks of just overload information, learn as much as you can as fast as possible, get to know the guys around you. Now, we're in a hotel, you're spending a ton of time around your teammates, you're building that chemistry even faster, you're in a ton of meetings with your coaches, which is just awesome, especially as a rookie to, be around the guys and be around the coaches and learn just every single day and continue to soak in information. But again, for me, it's just continuing to do that, continuing to learn the progressions, continuing to get through them faster and faster, and becoming just more comfortable in what I do and just playing the position. As even with the experience that I have, being in a new offense, you still have to be, comfortable with, going through those different things and, understanding what you're trying to do.
This is a guy that played in a lot of big-time football games in his career in college. Carson Beck spent 4 years at Georgia, and then transferred to Miami, where he was on that team that went to the national championship game, losing to Indiana, threw for over close to 4,000 yards last year. How about 30 touchdowns? He threw for 30 touchdowns last year for the Miami Hurricanes. Was a backup on the national championship, 2 of the national championship teams at Georgia, but when his time came, he really made the most of it. Threw for over 11,000 yards, 88 touchdowns at Georgia, another 30 touchdowns in Miami. So this guy threw for over 110 touchdowns in college. A third-round pick for the Cardinals at 65th overall. Doesn't turn the ball over, which is huge at the quarterback position. They had that low turnover rate. So anxious to see. Who knows? Carson Beck, is he the future? We don't know. We know that, right now it's Jacoby Brissett's team, Carson Beck and Gardner Minshew kind of backing this thing up. But Carson Beck, if, could be that guy. You never know. He certainly has the resume to say that he could be a guy that starts a lot of games in this.
Noah had 29 touchdowns last year. Is that pretty close to 30?
That's pretty close to 30. That is indeed pretty close to 30. All right, let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, we were hoping the Mercury could kind of parlay some of that goodness that they got out of Chicago into a game against one of the better teams in the league, the Atlanta Dream, last night, but they lose on the road 96-82 to fall back to 8 games under 500. Kelsey Plum playing in her second game, scored 20 points on Monday night, had 19 last night on 6 of 10 from the floor, hit 1 of 3 from 3 with 6 for 6 from the line, 19 points. She had 5 rebounds and 4 assists, only turned it over once in 19 minutes. Let's hear from Kelsey on her first start wearing the Mercury Orange.
Just trying to play with pace. I thought, to be honest, I dropped the ball on that a little bit after I kind of hit a wall. I think everything kind of hit me, but at the end of the day, what was the final score? 82-96. We're not going to win a lot of games scoring 82 points in terms of playing high-scoring teams, especially if we're not getting stops like that. So we got to have more possessions, and I think that also the rebounding battle just kind of killed us.
This is the tough part of it. Again, it's 4 cities in 7 days. They played Monday night in Chicago. They played last night in Atlanta. They'll play tomorrow night in Connecticut. So you're traveling right back up the Eastern Seaboard, and then you'll come back down and play at Washington on Sunday. So 4 games in 7 days in 4 different cities. We'll see how they come out of it over the course of the next 2 games against Connecticut, a team they should probably beat. Washington, that'll be another tough one because Washington at 17-12 is another team that's right there fighting for that final playoff spot. If you can get out of this 2-2, you would take that in a heartbeat because you're coming home for 5 straight games. 5 of the final 9 games will be, at least 5 in a row. 7 of the final 9 will be at home after you get off of this road trip. Sparks, Portland, Atlanta, and back-to-back games against Washington and Toronto. So that's actually 6. So I got 6 games coming up in a row after the end of this road trip. So the schedule is very friendly. You just got to stack the wins and see if you can get to 20 plus to try to put yourself in that playoff position. All right, DK on the Sports Tip again. That's going to pretty much wrap things up for us today. We've got pro football starting. It's that time of year for us. The Carolina Panthers, the Arizona Cardinals. Not yet, Bijan. We'll have games with you coming up this season as well. We are your Southern Arizona home for the National Football League. Second year on the Carolina Panthers radio network, plus all of our coverage on Westwood One, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football with Ryan Radke, Monday Night Football over on Freedom 1400 KTUC. We're back with you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Full show, DK on the Sports Tip. For Dragon Ball, for JW Madden, for Cricket, I'm David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Coming up next, the Hall of Fame game. Panthers, Cardinals, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic Center. We've got some slowdowns in roadwork. There's roadwork at Tangerine and I-10. And backups there at the westbound I-10 Tangerine off-ramp. More slowing southbound Swan at 5th Street, southbound Alvernon at 5th. Heavy backups westbound Broadway Boulevard at Swan. Slowing at Grant and Swan, also Alvernon at Grant. 81 the low, 104 tomorrow, 20% chance of rain, and 102 now. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Here's a chance for you to double your money with a sweet deal from Jimmy's Pita and Poke. You can get a $50 gift certificate and you pay just $25.
Your summer just got better with some exciting news. Jimmy's Pita and Poke has opened up a third location on the east side at 6540 East Tankerverde Road, right across from Golf and Stuff. Since 2017, they've been all about fresh, flavorful, and healthy options. Serving up the best poke and sushi bowls, delicious pitas, hot rice bowls, and fresh salads. Their passion for fresh ingredients and homemade citrus-infused sauces means every bite is packed with goodness. Whether you're eating in, picking up, or getting delivery, they got you covered with wholesome meals that fit any diet. Why settle for less? Check out their full menu at jimmyspitaandpoke.com. Then come taste what fresh really means at any one of their 3 locations, including the new one at 6540 East Tankerverde Road.
And this Jimmy's Pita and Poke sweet deal goes on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief.
1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Fall is termite season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those termites, bugs, and weeds. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
14 teams believed. 12 were wrong. The Indoor Football League National Championship hits the Tucson Convention Center on Sunday, August 16th. It's football full throttle. The best players, the biggest hits, the only game that matters. Don't just hear about it, be a part of it. History will happen. Get your tickets now at IFLNationalChampionship.com or Ticketmaster. The IFL National Championship, Sunday, August 16th at the Tucson Convention Center.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcast Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers in the National Football League.